Back again with another video, Bad News Brown. Let's get into a little controversy. Now, I'm sure you know of the whole back and forth between Shakur Stevenson, pro boxer, and Camron and Mase. Now, at first I wasn't going to even touch this topic because there's plenty more to talk about, but as in everything, it is a lesson to be learned. So let's get right to it. Now, again, you may have heard Shakur Stevenson going back and forth with Camron and Mase over his boxing. It appears that everybody's saying he born, and Camron and Mase said the same thing, and Shakur fired back, obviously. And then they fired back, and then Shakur fired back, I believe, and eventually Jay Prince got involved. And then Camron and Mase spoke on that, and this is where we are now. So I just want to touch on a little few things. Well, first, as far as Shakur Stevenson boxing style being boring, and I watch boxing, I don't consider myself a casual. I actually watch the sport, but Shakur is actually pretty good. Now, everybody's speaking on his defense. He's a defensive fighter, and yeah, his defense is good, but he's a counter fighter. So, therefore, a lot of times he wait to his opponent to get down, and then he counters. So, a lot of times, since he's a smart fighter, a lot of it becomes technical. And again, people coming to see a fight, they want to see somebody get knocked out. So, he's not Tank Davis when it comes to knocking people out, but he definitely got the skill set. Like, I count him, Devin Haney, Tank Davis. It was Ron Garcia, but I don't know why I mention him now. Tiafimo, Matrix, etc. They kind of all in the same package as within them few weight classes. So Shakur Stevenson is a good fighter. He ain't no slouch. But again, he's not, as of now, he ain't no knockout artist. I just put it as this: he ain't got the drip. He's winning or whatever, but it ain't looking good. So he ain't added the drip. A win is a win. But hey, everybody definitely got a right to their opinion. But this what leads to my message. It hurts. See, it hurts when the criticism hurts when it comes from people you care about or respect. So again, just like Camron and Mase said, man, everybody's saying that. We ain't the only ones saying you born, but Shakur ain't really tripping on the critics or maybe other sports analysts or other people per se. He ain't tripping when it comes from them, but it's coming from Camron and Mase, somebody who basically not only just a part of his culture, but in a way kind of look at as one of his peers, and they show popping, and you know they got a lot of ears, they got an audience. But and that's what I believe why Jay Prince got involved, because it's like, hey man, this is, imagine him, this is from a business perspective, that's casting a bad eye on my market, on my product. So of course Jay Prince gonna say something, but I just kind of want to go back to what I was saying, why I believe Shakur reacted the way he did, because it's coming from some people who's in the culture of the hip hop world, who we respect, who we feel he part of. So hell yeah, he about to say something, and that's what I'm saying. People, when it's coming from people you care about or you respect, it tend to hit a little harder. So that's what I truly believe why Shakur even said something to them, as opposed to saying something to every single person in the media world who got a voice, who may be famous, but he ain't really studying them. And as far as Jay Prince getting involved, again, like I said, he's managing him. So again, from a business perspective, man, y'all casting a black eye on my product. And that's why I believe Jay Prince showed the numbers. Like, hey man, as far as the train, I know Shakur Stevenson is a decent, good ass fighter. But again, from a fan perspective, fans want to see knockouts. And another thing is, some people say, well, he's defensive, he don't want to get hit. Well, of course you don't want to get hit, but of course I just think, and not even only just with him, with everybody now, don't nobody want to risk no L. Everybody want that zero because they didn't watch Mayweather trying to show you the blueprint on how to become the best in boxing, not only on paper, but then with the money, the way he marketed himself, and etc. So everybody is really trying to follow that blueprint. And with that elbow, that's going to be kind of hard to do. Now, don't get me wrong, you really can do it, and that's what I guess a lot of people is trying to tell a lot of the fighters. Hey, man, just because you got that L, that don't mean nothing. Muhammad Ali, that's what makes him the greatest. Because every L he got back up and avenged it. And that's what makes him greater. And I said that in the prior video. But, again, that's why a lot of these fighters don't really want to risk it because they figure it's going to mess up their bottom line, which is that money. So everybody want to protect their brand, their platform, whatever it is. So that's the reason. Then Mase and Camron responded to Jay Prince, pretty much saying, dude, you too old to be getting involved in this. We ain't no little guys. Don't try to little boy us and all that. This ain't back in the day when you may have been somebody. And why you even respond to this? And what I gotta say about that part is, well, for one, should Jay Prince have responded? I don't necessarily know off top. If I was him, I would have definitely gave it some thought. I'm sure he did. I probably wouldn't have been as reactionary. But then again, like I said, when it's coming from somebody you respect or hold in a certain esteem, it's going to hit a certain way. So that's what probably prompted the response. Now, again, he probably shouldn't have said nothing. He probably should have just hollered at Shakur like, man, hey, won't. But he probably feeling, hey, man, the damage is done. Y'all done already kind of done damaged my brand just by even saying something. So he probably just put it out there like, hey, man, we ain't with all that. And that's pretty much what he did. But then again, Camron and Mase like, hey, man, we going to say what we want. We commentate. Everybody else speaking on it. So, hey, it is what it is. And I doubt it's going to go any further. And it shouldn't go any further. You know, I just feel Jay Prince. But again, man, I don't like to speak on really another man on how I feel he need to handle certain things. Now, me, I play it a different way. But again, every situation is different. So I ain't going to never say never. Now, I would think that he would be under the impression that something like this is a little beneath him. But then again, the world has changed. Everybody on this social media, digital world. So a lot of that is influencing him now. Maybe is it? I don't want to say he doing that to stay relevant because he got his hands in so many other business endeavors. It can't possibly be that. But hey, I don't know. But it is pretty interesting though. But as far as Shakur, yeah, man, don't be as reactionary, man. You already know this ain't the first time people accuse you your fights being boring. And I ain't even see this last fight. So, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but I didn't see it. But yeah, the only way to stop the critics is you got to start knocking fools out, or win so convincingly is. And from what I hear, you did whoop dude. I heard you pretty much whooped him every round. But then again, a lot of these fans watching don't have the trained eye, so they just looking for the excitement. They want to see the drip. So you probably want to add the drip, being that you in front of the camera. Hey, I need to probably take heed to that as well, huh? But regardless, though, man, it's a lesson to be learned in everything. Bad news, Brown. Oh, and another thing, while I'm at it, since I'm talking sports and entertainment, I hear Skip Bayless is leaving FS1. I don't know if he got fired or he left, but he's not there. And what I gotta say about that is pretty much, well, for one, I watched First Take with him and Stephen A. I watched that. And I definitely watched Undisputed with him and Shannon. Now, me, what I think about Skip, see, I don't, how should I put this? Even back when I was watching him with Stephen A., I ain't gonna say I didn't look at him as racist. How should I put this? I just looked at Skip as being unapologetically white. in a honest way, if that make any sense. Now again, I spoke on this before, as far as white people, it ain't about, even though the burden of proof is on y'all, you ain't gotta kiss ass. But at the same time, the burden of proof is on y'all. So I just say that, like on certain subjects and stuff. I mean, Skip said it from his perspective. I didn't really take Skip as a. Then again, I don't know what he's saying behind closed doors. I'm just talking about what I was able to gather from on screen. And again, like I said, he just appeared to be a white person to me. You know, I didn't expect nothing more, nothing less, if that makes sense. And now, of course, the thing between him and Shannon, the on screen thing, that was, yeah, it was fake way disrespectful with the whole take your glasses off and all that. But I actually liked it, that show. I really didn't even want it to break up. But then again, you know, hey, if Shannon, hey man, it's because I'm not there, so Shannon feeling like, hey man, it's time to go, then it's time to go. So, and he left and he doing his thing now. And that left Skip by himself for a minute. I mean, for the most part, by himself. I mean, of course, he got Key and all them. And again, I ain't even really researched the details on why he left FS1. I'm going assuming that now the world is changing. It's all about these platforms now. So, even just a few years ago when they had these talk shows on ESPN and etc., and we watch them in the morning, everybody is online now, and Skip, you by yourself ain't getting it. So it's kind of like, it's, you born. They're gonna put it like Shakur, hey man, you born. So you gonna need, it's all based on your co-host, and it just ain't hitting the same, it appears. And that's what it appears, that's how they feeling. I'm not sure, again, like I said, but again, everybody watching all these private platforms, so to speak, even the sports analysts, as you know, that even your coworkers or whatever, if they got a platform, everybody got one now. And so I think that transition is kind of just, I don't want to say ruining Skip, but it probably did. But hey, it is what it is, you know. Skip, cool. I ain't no Skip hater. I ain't no Skip lover at all. Again, like I said, if anything, as far as the sports stuff, it was a necessary evil. Like I liked it, the back and forth between him and Shannon, even back with him and Stephen A. So it is what it is. But he gone now, it appears. So I'm sure Skip will end up somewhere with his own show, whether with another network or with somebody else. But anyway, yeah, this is Bad News Brown breaking it down right quick for y'all one time, man. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm be back at y'all with some more of it. Peace.